Coming up on Mountain News this morning, a Kentucky priest prepares to auction off some special items to help people affected by the tornado outbreak earlier this month. And an Eastern Kentucky county hosts its first ever Toys for Tots Christmas giveaway, bringing smiles to kids in our region.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning to you again. It's 5:32 on this Thursday morning. I'm Dakota Makris. Thank you so much for waking up with us. And let's head over to Brandon for a look at that cold forecast. And Brandon, I think the cold weather has impacted my reading abilities because I've been struggling all morning. I read my scripts beforehand, and then I just read and I'm ready to take off for Christmas, honestly.
Exactly. Can't do it yet.
I've already checked out, I swear.
That's right. Still got one more day to go, and then I'll be with Steve tomorrow night tracking the big guy as he moves his way into the mountains. But for that, it's a beautiful start to the day. Just cold out there. Let's take a look at our Whitesburg camera this morning downtown, and you'll see Main Street still pretty quiet here in the 5:30 half hour this morning. Temperatures, though, not so quiet. 20 Irvin, Ashland, 19 Monticello, Jonesville, 28 in Jackson and Pikeville. That's your range this morning. Breakfast forecast, cold. Make sure you wear those jackets. Make sure you give yourself plenty of time to get out the door this morning because it's going to be a chilly scenario. And then as we head into the 12-hour planner, 5:20 sunset. Days finally starting to get a little bit longer there, and we're going to continue to see that trend for a while. So we head towards spring and summer. Sunny skies throughout the day. A few clouds later as we top out in the mid-50s. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you so much. Well, one of the victims of the tornado outbreak earlier this month was a drug recovery center in central Kentucky. 19 men were in the facility in Taylor County when the EF3 tornado ripped off its roof. The director says the men were lucky to have survived what happened, and they say it's amazing the damage wasn't worse. WYMT's Phil Pendleton has more.
Inside the Lake Cumberland Recovery Center are clients dealing with their own personal storms.
They're already living an internal tornado every day of their life.
Then early on the morning of December 11th, the chaos became quite different for all of them.
He was so busy getting everyone else to the basement, he didn't make it to the basement.
That man survived the powerful storm along with all 18 others inside when the recovery center lost its roof.
And he dove under the big oak table that was right here in this area and rode out the storm hanging on to.
Several men were hurt, but it could have been so much worse.
And majority of the insulation and several things from the ceiling actually fell down on top of several of the clients.
Since then, volunteers from all over the state and other states have showed up to help clear debris and cut down some of the large trees that toppled over.
Maybe we'll be able to come back from this storm bigger and stronger and better, and just hanging on to faith of our community and our friends and all those that have helped us so far.
All the clients are currently staying at another facility in Somerset. In Taylor County, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
Lake Cumberland recovery officials say the monetary loss is not clear just yet. A Lexington priest is auctioning off 2 gifts given to Pope Francis. Father Jim Shisco says the funds will go directly to storm relief for Western Kentucky. He brought a bottle of rare Kentucky bourbon and a basketball signed by John Calipari. The Pope accepted the gifts, then returned them so they can be sold at auction.
The Holy Father saw me. One of the first things he asked was, how are the people of Kentucky? How are tornado victims?
He says he plans to visit tornado victims in the coming weeks. The National Guard unit out of Somerset is in Texas training ahead of deployment and will have a nice surprise this week. This holiday season, the military families have an opportunity to spend time with their loved ones before they ship off. But some families were not able to afford the cost of the trip. So Marcy Berry, a military spouse herself, set out to do it and unite loved ones.
I just kept hearing from families that they couldn't make it, and especially those with kids, it was just awful.
Marcy found partners with public officials willing to use their personal time to collect individual donations and get those families to Texas. Nearly at the start of this year, we shared the story of one Floyd County family whose community came together to bring them something they had on their Christmas list for some time, a service dog. Now, after months of waiting and training, the family met their new furry line of defense. WYMT's Buddy Forbes shows us how he is fitting in.
We added a new addition to our family. This is Tank.
The newest critter is on the clock.
Families will say it literally gave them their life back.
And don't let the curls fool you. This pup is all about service.
Good job, Tank!
Trained to sense seizures in 6-year-old Etta and tether to her and her 4-year-old brother Marshall, who both have nonverbal autism.
He's helped my anxiety level. You know, at nighttime, I regularly sit and watch the monitor for Etta to have seizures or the door, just thinking maybe Marshall could get out of bed.
Providing much more than a sense of safety.
Tank gives us a little bit of normalcy. We've never been able to walk in the store without one of us having to stay in the car or things like that.
Tank uses his training to keep the kids connected, giving them a sense of autonomy while serving as a comfort in instances of overstimulation.
So many people, kids included, they want independence. So just a child being able to walk through a store without their hands being held by a parent is huge independence.
But it is about more than keeping them close.
Where's your boy? Find your boy.
Tank is also rescue trained to find Marshall if he wanders off.
It's changed our whole lifestyle, everything.
That change only made possible with the more than $20,000 raised by their communities.
So humbling that people are so invested in our kids.
Now, though it took nearly a year to get here,
He's a critter.
the Criters have a full tank and full hearts. In Paintsville, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
Well, Tank was trained by Doulabon service dogs who traveled to the area to transition the pup into the family. Well, Pike County Animal Rescue is welcoming in a new barnyard friend. 3 Mile Creek Farms in Dorton has welcomed Snowy the Christmas cow to the farm after saving the calf from animal traders from out of state. The calf, who is less than 2 weeks old, will grow to be a full-sized milk cow. The farm plans to rescue more calves in the future and have Snowy adopt the new additions.
We'll be able to use her to substitute as their mama, and she can take care of them. Right now it's hard. You've got to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and feed at 6 o'clock in the evening, and on these cold days it's not a lot of fun.
Elkins says to check out the farm's social media pages if you would like to make a donation or attend one of the farm's future events. Breathitt County had its first Toys for Tots Christmas giveaway yesterday. Patsy Clare saw her friend bring Toys for Tots to Leslie County and wanted to do the same thing for Breathitt. While living through a pandemic is hard enough, Breathitt County has faced other challenges as well. Patsy wanted to help families give their children a Christmas regardless of circumstances.
I asked for 800 kids, you know, for the flood we had in March of this year and stuff. A lot of families, you know, are having a hard time recovering from that and that type of thing. So this is just a small thing that we can do, you know, to help make their Christmas just a little bit better.
Several community members came out to volunteer, including Santa Claus. Parents and kids full of excitement started lining up 30 minutes before the event even began. Well, in an area where coal used to be the main industry for the economy, something else is driving new growth. In West Virginia, the Hatfield-McCoy Trails brings thousands of visitors each year. Eastern Kentucky is working to establish its own trail, the first frontier Appalachian trails, which would connect 19 counties together by off-road trails. Kimberly Kagi takes us through the hills of Johnson County, where 2 trails have been mapped out to become a part of what leaders are calling a game changer in boosting the economy.
In the hills of Eastern Kentucky,
there's an adventurous spirit in all of us.
You'll find a set of trailblazers hoping to drive growth to an area that once relied on the power of coal.
Can we bring industry in here? Can we bring factories? Can we bring other types of jobs? I am very happy to say that we live in a county and a region that has really grabbed a hold of what do we need to do to reinvent ourselves. And I'm excited to say Johnson County is primed and ready for the next chapter.
Work is underway to establish an off-road trail system that would connect 19 counties across Eastern Kentucky. The first frontier Appalachian trails are modeled after the success of the Hatfield-McCoy Trails in West Virginia.
We want to be able to connect all these counties together, be able to ride, start here in Van Lair, end up in Pike County, Floyd County. We want to be able to just let everybody enjoy all the fun that we're having.
Laura Peck with the First Frontier Appalachian Trails says a study done by Marshall University shows promising results when it comes to boosting up already existing businesses and attracting new ones.
It showed the economic impact of the trail system there. 9 counties, $38 million. So it's a huge, huge economic impact. And that's what we're hoping to have here in Eastern Kentucky in these 19 counties.
There's a ton of history. That's why it's such a great place to do it. You already got so many people coming into the area. So why not, while they're here, give them something else to do, have plenty to offer.
Driving growth and opportunity on top of the coal that once powered the economy. Kimberly Keggy, WSAZ News Channel 3.
Johnson County has mapped out 2 trails that will be included in the First Frontier Appalachian Trails. Well, just had this morning, we celebrate a pre-Christmas holiday made popular by a classic sitcom.
And as we head toward Christmas, are we going to see white Christmas, wet Christmas, warm Christmas, cold Christmas? I'll have the answer to all those questions in just a little bit.